Jesse, Doug. I like Doug, your background. AI, let's go. You all about it. You say, I know what I'm doing. I got this. Jacob, Barbara. Look at me with those sunglasses outside. That's nice. That's nice. Carrie, Rachel, I see just I don't know. I think that's just the background. Jessica, what's up? And then there's a bunch of other names, but I don't see faces, which makes me sad. All right. Because we always give people 5 minutes to get in because welcome to Zoom. There's always some delay on and that takes 2 minutes. So, quick question for everybody who's already here, which I'm impressed by the way. Um, there's some serious early birds. I think we had like 15 people at one point in the
Yeah,
waiting
that we're
room.
waiting in
So
the
well
waiting room. I
done.
love it.
We had like 6 or 7 people 10 minutes early. I was like, dang, there we go. Someone wants to make some money.
I almost want to create a t-shirt or a hat or something that says I'm the early bird, but something about not getting the worms because nobody wants worms. But if you're like, because I'm the same way, like every time I start a Zoom call, I always start it 2 minutes early, and I just spend 2 minutes thanking the early birds for being on time. I
The
love the
shirt
fact that
should have the like, I'm the early bird, then it's a bird picking at the ground and a stack of
yeah, that would work perfectly.
That'd be
That would be
awesome,
great.
man. All right, so
That'd be
quick
cool.
question. What's the number one reason you think for sale by owners don't want to work with an agent? LOs in the room too. I know I got some awesome LOs here. Guys, I want your opinion too. Your perspective matters. What's the number one reason you think they don't want to work with an agent? Barbara says money. Lori says to save that cash. They don't want to pay. Saving money on commission. We're getting a kind of almost a unanimous consensus here.
Yeah,
When does that ever happen in life?
right.
Someone needs to just say something divisive in the chat. Come on now.
There we go, Heidi. There you go. Or a bad experience with a
There
realtor.
we go.
You
There we
mix
go.
it up.
Oh, look at that. Back to back. Bad
There we
experience with
go.
realtor. Heidi says it as well. Bad experience with realtor. There we go. I like the name. Yeah, drop it in the chat. I'm curious. I'm curious. Get those videos on. Let's go. Let's go. About one more minute. Uneducated on the process.
Yeah.
I mean, listen, ignorance, right? And remember, ignorance is not a bad word, guys. Willfulness, ignorance is a but ignorance by itself is not a bad thing. It's just when we're willful. So, because I use that word a lot, offensive, and I'm like, I didn't say willful. Okay, that's a different thing. All right, one more minute. Give me some more answers. Come on now. What do you guys think? Number one reason. I know we got lots of people coming in still. Love this. Fires me up. I mean, I know we all know you're really here just to see Walter's latest Hawaiian shirt. Let's be real. We all know the reason.
So I'll tell you why we got the 60 seconds to wait. This Hawaiian shirt was a gift from my wife. My church youth group, we took the kiddos to see the 20th anniversary Revenge of the Sith showing in the theaters.
Oh yeah.
So, I mean, I took my lightsaber, I had my Darth Vader socks on, but I didn't have a Star Wars themed Hawaiian shirt. And my wife found this one, which I thought was really interesting because it's Hawaiian shirt-esque, and there's lights, there's stormtroopers and Darth Vader on it, but it's set like a Japanese samurai theme. Like it's got Mount Fuji, and the Star
Oh,
Wars
that's cool.
characters are actually dressed like samurai. It's a little bit of a weird blend, but it made for a great conversation starter while I was there.
I
So
love it.
this is only the second time I've ever worn
All
it. The
right,
first
it's
time was
five
at the
after.
theater.
All right, guys. So this is great. I love your responses. This was awesome. Okay. Now, how would you solve that problem? Just type in the chat real quick. How would you solve that problem? Whatever reason you gave, right? Uneducated on the process, um, right? Bad experience with the previous realtor. Of course, trying to save cash. How do you solve that problem for the for sale by owner? And it's okay if you don't know an answer. Just do your best one. Just drop it in the chat. Give me some ideas. And it can be simple. I'm not asking for a full strategy layout, right? But just give me some of your own perspective on how you would. Obviously, right, Lori, how do you fight? That maybe education. I think you said for the cash, right? You said they were trying to save cash, so you would need to educate them on how they aren't saving cash, or rather, what they're leaving on the table or the potential upside. Yep, simple, right? Teaching them value, bring, carry. That's right. Walter says, I own a tenant matching algorithm that is helpful to landlords. That sounds dope. We need to talk about that. Let's go. We'll talk about that sometime, Walter. That sounds cool. I like it. Andrea bringing them a cash deal. I love this. This is great, guys. All right. So today we're going to give you one of the best solutions you could ever ask for. Lots of great solutions out there. There is. We're going to give you one of the best ones. And the reason why we can say best is because it's just proven. It's just proven time and time again in pretty much any market with the vast majority of for sale by owners. It just works. It just works. So this is for you. If you avoid for sale by owners because they've already said they don't want an agent, or you feel for sale by owners take too much effort for listings you probably won't get anyway. Anybody relate to that? Or maybe you just see most agents and even LOs. There's some brave LOs that call for sale by owners, but you see them as pushy, spammy, and you're not about that. You don't want to be associated with that. You don't want to get that label, right, on your business. Or maybe you believe that for sale by owners are actually a great opportunity. Maybe you're already doing it a little bit, and you just want to enhance your methods with something new. If you resonate with any of those, this is for you. And in fact, I didn't even put the bonus one in here, but this will actually help you with all listings that you get. That means past clients, leads that you convert. This will help with that too. All right. So, first, the four conditions of being on the call because we take it seriously here. One is video on unless you're doing something unsafe. Then we want your video off, right? Two, distractions off. There is no reason to show up a call just to be distracted. I'd rather you, quite honestly, I'd rather you just go leave and do the thing that's going to distract you so you don't distract others, right? But if you're here and you want this, let's eliminate as many of those distractions as possible so you can be present and so you can crush it. Participate. Some of you are regulars here. You know our calls are different, highly engaging, highly interactive. So you leave actually accomplishing something by the end of the call. And then, of course, reciprocation. Make someone's day. Learn something, take something that you learned today and go share it with someone else. I don't care who it is. I don't care. Just take something you learned today and just go give it away to someone else for free, just like you're receiving it today. And then I have one special request. I do a lot of work to make these things happen for you. Here's all I need in return from you, and it's 100% free. Show up to the calls. When you get the newsletters on Fridays, just open them for me. Click all the links, even the ads. You don't have to buy anything. I don't care. It just helps me because it helps with my delivery rates. So if you guys can just open those emails, click all the links, it makes the email server providers very happy. It's a free way you can help me so I can keep this free for you all. All right, now let's talk about the for sale by owner problem. Most agents and loan officers approach for sale by owners in one of two ways. They don't want an agent, so they're stubborn, too much hassle, not worth it, right? That's how they view them. Or the most dangerous one is the entitlement factor. And I actually see this a lot. This is super common. And you'll see it on Facebook. You'll see it in conversations. And it's really, really not a good mindset, which is they already have their hand up. They always leave money on the table. Most end up listing with an agent anyway. In life, us would never find conversations like that acceptable to talk about other people. Okay, you guys ready for a really harsh comparison? By what she was wearing, she was asking for it. Anybody agree with that sentiment? No way.
No.
Okay, so we don't treat others that way. You see how easy it is to slip into our business? People will know and they will feel that entitlement. And it will ruin relationships. And then you'll go, why does nobody want to work with me? Okay, I know that got serious for a second, but what we do is serious. But it's about to be a lot more fun when you follow this strategy. All right, So here's the truth for most for sale by owners. You guys had a bunch of great ideas, but those are all effects. The root cause of why a for sale by owner, whether they had a bad experience with a previous realtor, it's all the same, by the way. It's all the same root cause for the most part. They simply are people who have given up. And let me explain that, okay? Because I bet you a lot of gurus don't say this. They don't believe there is a better way to get what they want out of real estate with someone else. So they do it alone. And they often have pretty good reasons. Bad experience with a previous realtor, right? They want to save on cash. But it all stems from this idea that there isn't something better, so they'll just do it themselves. And come on now, haven't we all had plenty of moments in our everyday life where we just give up and we say, oh, we'll just do it ourselves? It's a giving up mentality, right? And so now that we know the root cause, we could talk about someone like this guy
I know that guy.
understands that and what he does. We're going to get into it in a second. Walter, I'm going to have a question coming up for you where I want you to share a bit of insight. So, one of the reasons why I brought Walt in today is he found a way to connect with for sale by owners and get paid by them, even if they never give him the listing. Though I have found out plenty of times they end up doing that too. All right. And it's probably so easy. And there's a lot of the things that you're going to learn today that apply to this that you didn't even know you were already doing. So it's really exciting for you. So, Walt, I have a question for you. Why do you think, from your experience of teaching for sale by owners, do you think most agents and LOs avoid them?
Well, I think at the so you hit the nail on the head with the root cause of why the FSBO ultimately says, you know what, the heck with it, I'll just try this on my own. They do give up for various reasons. I think the reasons that agents and lenders either never call FSBOs or they take a long time to start calling FSBOs, it goes back to the same psychology of every great conversation, which is I'm afraid they'll tell me no. I'm afraid I can't
Mm,
convey a level of value that would convince them that I should be someone they work with. So it's all of the same psychological issues that we face in our day to day: fear of rejection, fear of the unknown, fear of imposter syndrome. I can't tell them how I can help them, therefore I'm not even going to call them. And
mm.
once you break through those psychological barriers, it becomes a lot of fun. You're just out there helping people, which is
Isn't
ultimately
it
what we all
funny?
want to do.
Like the for sale by owners have them why they don't want to work with the agent yet, but they already have designed the outcome. They don't want to work with me based off these reasons, even though I have
Yeah.
no clue if those are the right reasons.
100%. And I think I'll give you a really fast example of how this psychology just permeates people's head, but it's absolutely wrong. When I first moved back to Florida from Virginia, I was staying with my sister, who was a real estate agent of 10 years. And she lived inside this little nice community tucked back off the main roads. Like it wasn't a pass through community. You didn't drive in unless you lived there. Three houses up from her on the way out, there's a big for sale by owner sign in a closed community, right? Nobody's going to see that sign if they don't already live there. And it said, 3-2 lakefront golf course, blah, blah, blah. And across the bottom, the only thing written on the bottom in the biggest, boldest Sharpie that would fit on the white space of the red and white sign, it said, no realtors, exclamation point, exclamation point, exclamation point. So I asked my sister jokingly one day, I'm like, hey, sis, why haven't you called that FSBO up the road? And she's like, it clearly says no realtors. I don't think I'm not calling him. He doesn't want to work with an agent. Okay, I'll call him. And so I'm freeloading for the time being while my house is getting remodeled. I'm sitting in my sister's office and I pick up the phone. And you would think that that would be a really fast call, right? As soon as I said the word real estate, he'd be like, I said no realtors, click. I had a 21-minute long conversation with that gentleman. And at the end of that conversation, he says, if I'm not under contract by April, I'll probably list this with an agent. How many agents you think took the time to call him to build a relationship so that they could list that house when the time was right for him? Because
Mm-hmm.
in their head, well, no realtors. I'm not even going to try. We always have value to add to people, even the ones who don't realize we have the value yet.
We'll get into that. Walter, great question. We're going to get into that. You're going to see. All right. So Why you should care about the for sale by owner marketing script. I'm going to bold this for you. It turns for sale by owner rejection of agents into cooperation with agents. It positions you differently and, more importantly, positively
Yep.
than most agents and LOs who are calling for sale by owners. There's zero pressure. All the benefit for the for sale by owner. Another way to put that is they have nothing to lose in this scenario that we're going to teach you today, and they have everything to gain. And when you have nothing to lose and everything to gain, they're just more willing to talk to you. They're more willing to potentially work with you, right? It's proven and it's a repeatable system. And when you have a proven, repeatable system, guess what that means? Predictable income. Don't listen to all the people who tell you in real estate that you can't have a predictable income in real estate. They are not telling you the truth. There are far too many people with a predictable income that have proven that that's not right. That's not true. That's not factual. All right. And it makes sure that you get paid even if they never list with you. This is important. There is a no loss situation here. You will never lose in this scenario as long as you follow the process. Now, does that mean that you're always going to get the outcome you want? No. But you will always walk away with something that will lead to revenue for your business. And that is important because that's your job. You own a business and it's your job to make money, right? Now, this is about turning people who don't think they need you into partners who genuinely appreciate your value and gladly pay you for it. Sound pretty good? Let's get into it then. Step one. How do you find your for sale by owners? This is important. We need to discuss how to locate the for sale by owners. So one of the easiest ways that Walt's talked about before, Zillow, buy owner section, number one place, right? And Walt, I got a question coming up for you in just a second.
Sure.
Facebook Marketplace, plenty of for sale by owners will post on Facebook Marketplace. You know why? Because they're on Facebook. They see it. People browse Facebook Marketplace all the time. And then they go, I could just put my house here. I'll sell it real fast. I'll make tons of money. Everything's great. I don't need an agent, right? Local Facebook groups, same premise as Facebook Marketplace, right? I'm in these groups. I see other people. Maybe they saw some other for sale by owner. Maybe they see agents posting in these groups and they go, I could do that, right? ForSaleByOwner.com, FSBO.com, two other great sources. RedX, this is where you'll purchase. This is a purchase one. I have no affiliation with them, by the way. I'm just telling you exactly how it works. RedX actually sells for sale by owner leads, so you could plug them right into a dialer, into your CRM. There's a lot of different ways, and that's really the emphasis, is that you have a lot of different ways. And then the last one, this is a kind of a secret one that a lot of agents don't know about, is your MLS. You can look for flat fee listings on your MLS. Okay, so there are, now I'm not saying you can search directly for that because every MLS is different. So I can't tell you what your MLS will specifically allow you to search for. What I'm telling you is that there are brokerages out there who say, give me $500, or even some as cheap as $100, and I'll put it on the MLS for you. Those agents will not negotiate anything. They'll often put the seller's name and phone number in the agent remarks. Okay, so even your own MLS has people available for you to use this strategy with. So you have more than enough places. So Walt, what is your favorite way to find for sale by owners?
So you hit the number one, absolutely Zillow. There's only two things I like Zillow for. Only two. Most of it is garbage, right? I like their map feature. If I'm searching for something, I can contain it by a map. And I like the fact that I can quickly go grab for sale by owners. And as a third, I like the fact that Epic gives us Zillow Showcase for no monthly fee. But that's a whole side tangent. So Zillow is absolutely the number one. That's if I'm online, that's the first spot I'm going is Zillow. Click on for sale by owner section, draw your map, do your thing. The
Drop in the
one that
chat,
the
1 second, Walt. Drop in the chat which one of these on the list do you think you're more likely to try out for finding your for sale by owners? I'm just curious. While Walter's talking, drop in the chat 1 through 6 which one you think, or you can just type out the name of which one you think you're most likely to use. It's important for you to identify that. All right, Walter, continue.
Okay. Now I'm going to tell you one that's not on the list,
Oh no, I
but
missed
it
one.
but it's just something that you should be aware of because there's even more value that you can add to the FSBO when you find those. FSBO signs, the physical yard sign.
Oh my gosh, I didn't even put
You,
the
you you
signs.
gotta you gotta understand, like you need to adapt your brain to have FSBO radar. If you see black and or red and white together on the side of the road, your radar should go, is that a FSBO sign? Because they're 99% of the time they're red and white. And here's the thing about those, right? You're never going to see the phone number driving 55 miles an hour down the road. And then you'll see the red and white, but no other buyer is going to stop while they're driving somewhere else. That sign is useless to them. But you, as someone who's always looking to add value to FSBOs, you should make a point to stop. If you don't have time to call them right there, that's fine. Take a picture of the sign so you have the data. Grab a quick picture of the house for reference. Go about your business. When you come home and you're actively prospecting and doing this, call those FSBO signs. A lot of times what happens is the person who puts the sign out, they're not on Facebook Marketplace. They're not on Zillow. They don't even
Mm-hmm.
know that they can list their house on Zillow by own. They don't
Yep.
know. And that yard sign is their only marketing. So
Yep.
there's tons of value you can add there. So that's my second favorite is the actual yard signs, man. I will stop everything I'm doing if I'm driving somewhere and I see a FSBO. But I always leave my house 10 minutes early.
He ain't
I
joking.
always have time to stop and grab the photos and still be on
On
time.
his way to his wedding, he's like, babe, one second, okay? I'm gonna talk to them. I'm gonna invite them to the wedding as
I'll tell
well.
you what,
And we just paid for the honeymoon.
I have had instances because my wife is trained now. When we're driving somewhere and we will whip a Yui so I can go grab the sign before we continue on where we're going. Even if my wife's driving, she's like, "You want to get?" I mean, I do. Like, let's go. So my wife has FSBO radar now too.
All right, so you guys got your location. You got where you're gonna go find for sale by owners more than likely. Make sure you actually write that down. Make sure that you have a target today, okay? So write that down. Now, let's move into step 2. How do you market? This is important. It's not going to sound immediately relevant, but trust the process, okay? So I want you to write down every way. Let's say you have a listing right now. It's your listing. You're the listing agent. I want you to write down every way that you market a listing to help it sell for the most in the shortest time possible, right? Because that's typically your job, right? Write those down. I'm going to give you some examples. You publish it to the MLS. Duh, right? And obviously, there's syndication to Zillow, Realtor.com, so you don't have to put those in there because almost all MLSs now will do syndication or allow you to turn it off or on. Okay? Hosting open houses, circle prospecting around the listing, Facebook Marketplace, social media content, mailers, door knocking, and tons of others. I want you to write down. Remember, guys, this is engaging and interactive. Do not ignore this. You will not get the most out of this call if you do not follow the process. Write down, stop what you're doing. Write down the ways that you actually market a listing to help it sell. Look at Jesse on it. Let's go. MLS, open houses, Facebook Marketplace, social media with a bunch of exclamation points. That's the enthusiasm I'm talking about. I should have added in what's the one that you bury? The joke, the saint, who is it? Saint
Saint
Peter?
Joseph,
Saint
Saint,
Joseph?
yeah, one of those guys.
I remember seeing those a ton during COVID, man. I saw those all the time. That was hilarious. There we go. Write them down. I want to see them. I want to see them. And make sure you're saving this. Copy and paste what you write into a Google Doc or a note somewhere. Save this. It will become useful. Okay? Save it. Desiree, you will learn more, number 3. All right, come on. I want to see some more, guys. You're here. You're here. Obviously, some of you are driving. Don't worry. Please don't type while you're driving. Safe. I want you well. Perfect. Perfect. You guys are crushing it. I love it. Okay. All right. So, again, drop them in the chat. If you want, focus on the number one thing that you do. Maybe it's unique. Maybe it's something you do better. Okay. And when I say better, listen, you didn't get into real estate because you thought you were average and could produce average results. Nobody gets into an entrepreneurship role because they think that they're just like everybody else. Come on now. Let's be honest here. We got a little bit of pride. We got into real estate because we thought we could do it better than most agents. So now I want you to list the number one thing that you use for marketing It could be anything. I don't care what it is. I've seen the quirkiest things. I love it. What's the number one thing that you either do to sell a property that's either super unique or you just other agents do it, but you just do it way better, right? It could be open houses. Lots of agents do open houses, but the way you do open houses is unbelievably better. Okay? Drop them in the chat. Drop them in the chat. And while you're doing that, Walt, what is the number one thing you do that's unique or that you feel you do better than most agents when it comes to marketing a listing?
Oh man. I don't know that I do it better. I just do it more consistently and I do
That's
it
better,
well.
bro. That's better.
So the consistency piece is the key. So I obviously if it's my listing, it's going in the MLS. I'm gonna do open houses correctly, right? We teach how to do open houses really well. Circle prospecting a listing. Someone asked like, how do I learn more about that? We actually just talked about that maybe the last call or the call before. So
Yep.
there's a recording on that one. That's just when you say, you know what, I have a listing right here. I'm going to reach out to the nearest 100 neighbors around my listing and just have a conversation with them,
Mm.
see if I can spark some business. Facebook Marketplace and Facebook groups. I'm huge in the Facebook groups.
What's your number
Um,
one, though? What's your number one?
they're all so good.
Personally, I know,
Uh,
I know. But if we're making
I
them
would
do their
say
number one,
number one that stands out is Marketplace and groups. I'd put that into one because when you're posting on Marketplace, you're also going to post into
naturally
groups,
segues into that.
right? So those
I
two
thought you were going to say that too,
I
because that's
consider
the
those one
basis.
thing.
Yeah, that's a big part of what we do in the
Yeah.
100K challenge. So, guys, I love the way this chat is looking, and I hope you're already feeling productive because this is going to all come together, and you're going to feel real proud of yourself for doing the work because you just started your for sale by owner offer. You just started creating your for sale by owner offer, and I'll tell you what I mean by that. Okay, so congratulations, you did it. This will also become relevant for your listing presentations, social media marketing, and a whole bunch of other things. That's a different conversation for a different time. But what you just started in that chat will become multi useful in so many other ways in your business. So now let's talk about the mindset. This is a very important one. So before you dive into the call, which is coming right up, you need to change your mindset so you don't end up giving off the telemarketer vibe, right? Nobody wants to have the telemarketer vibes. Let's go. Come on, raise your hand. You do not want to be that person. You do not want to be a telemarketer. You don't want people to hear you on the phone and go, this sounds like a telemarketer. No way. I'm not that person. I'm not that person. So part of that stems from a mindset. And I just want to prove that point, right? There's a huge difference between someone who calls because they're an employee and it's their job to call and someone who calls and they sincerely want to help. You know that. You guys know that when telemarketers call you. You can tell just in the tone of their voice that they are only here to sell you something. And then you can also tell, listen, let's put it one way. Walt's my friend. We're partners. Walt calls me. If Walt calls me and he just says, hey, Robert, so listen, I'm here to sell you something. Obviously, that's going to be weird. If Walt says, listen, man, I've been working on something for you, right? So even our friends and family, you guys have friends, you have family who only reach out to you for something from you. You cannot be that person to for sale by owners. Their guard is up 10x your family. That's why the mindset's so important. So you're not going for the listing agreement. That is one thing you have to, everybody repeat after me. Ready? I'm not going for the listing agreement. Take that stress and that burden off your shoulders now, okay? Feel a little lighter? Come on. Feeling a little good? Now you are free to just be sincere, be wonderful, be helpful, and not even worry about it. Okay? They already said they don't want to list with an agent. You need to remember that. They did say that. That is what for sale by owners say, and you can't ignore that reality. It doesn't mean that they won't have an agent at some point, but that's not your focus. You're respecting them as they are right now. And you don't want to be that person who obviously ignores others. Anybody get a telemarketer call and you go, listen, I'm taking care of kids right now. They even hear them screaming in the background and they go, oh, don't worry, sir. It'll only take 5 minutes. And you go, yeah, yeah, I get what you're saying, but I've got something going on right now. And they go, yeah, 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 it'll be real quick. Anybody feel really freaking annoyed by someone who treats them like that? Like, I told you that I'm busy and you are so rude. Well, guess what? That's what most people call them for sale by owners do. I know you don't want an agent, but I'm an agent and you want me. I know you don't want to do a listing agreement, but I want to do a listing agreement. So you're going to do a listing agreement. Now, here's the important thing you do need to remember, and this will help with your stress and worry. 93% of for sale by owners end up listing with an agent, but it won't be you if you burn the bridge. That's why you're not going for the listing agreement. Because if you go for that on a for sale by owner, the bridge will be burned and you'll be the 7% that don't get it. All right. Walt, let's do a quick role play. We're just going to
Sweet.
open up the script for you guys. Misa, go ahead and drop that script in the chat so people can follow along. It's the same one we sent in the DMs for people who requested it. Well, guys, we're going to send you this script because you're going to use it in a second yourself, but also we want you to be able to simply follow along. And what's cool about the way we do scripts is we have the agent version and the loan officer version. So no matter which side of the table you are on, we got you taken care of. There we go. And this is going to be short and sweet. This is not going to be long and drawn out. So pull up the script and then just follow along. Walt, I'm actually going to do the same thing. I'm going to let other people see it too. Let me scroll down here. So for those who maybe they're problem pulling up the link or something. All right. So Walt, at any point, go ahead and ring, ring.
All right, beautiful. Ring, ring.
Hello.
Hey, is this the owner of 123 Main Street?
Yeah. Who's this?
Awesome. Hey, my name's Walt Key. Is that still for sale right now?
Yeah, that's why the sign's there.
Awesome. Perfect. I just wanted to make sure I was talking to the right guy. Hey, listen, like I said, my name's Walt Key. I'm a local realtor here in Northeast Florida. And listen, hey, real quick, before we go any farther, do me a huge favor. Just take a deep breath. Listen, I realize you're probably getting bombarded by calls for other agents trying to convince you to do the one thing you don't want to do, which is list your house with them. I don't even want to talk about listing your house. Is that okay?
Oh, okay. I mean, but then why are you calling?
Well, this might sound a little cheesy, but I actually just love helping people. And I put time on my calendar every single week to call the for sale by owners in my local market and to see how I might be able to help them sell their house on their own for free. It's just something I love to do. Do you got 10 minutes just so I can chat with you about some strategies you might be able to put into practice?
Sure.
Awesome. Cool. I appreciate it. Well, let's start with the obvious one. Are you open to working with a buyer's agent if I brought you a qualified and vetted buyer and a great deal on the house?
Perfect. And there. All right, guys. Super simple, super easy. Nothing complex. No fancy words. What stood out to you guys? Drop in the chat what stood out to you. What's something you resonated with, something you connected with, something that you just liked about the way that Walter drove right into it. And there's more. There's more that you can always do. But to be honest, most conversations, it's the opener, it's the first minute to 2 minutes. In fact, just so you guys know, in June, we're having a very special guest coming on, the queen of objection handling, that will teach you how to get every conversation to 2 minutes at least. And if you can get to 2 minutes, you're pretty much solid. Okay. All right. Let me see what you guys said. Take a
That's a
deep
good one there.
breath. Ooh, that's a good one. I like to help. There we go. Providing value. Putting them at ease right off the bat. Yes. If you ever read Never Split the Difference, what Walt did is he addressed the negative first. He addressed the number one thing that most likely would make them want to hang up. Right? It's brilliant. It's so smart. It might sound cheesy. That's a secondary negative that he's addressing. I'm aware how weird this sounds, but I'm here anyway and I'm doing it. It's important. That's right. Took out the objective. You guys are crushing it. This is awesome. This is awesome. So proud of you. It shows you were listening. Okay. All right. So again, addressing the dread first. They're going to push me to list with them at some point. He said, nope, I don't even want to talk about it. Sorry, I'm taking that excuse away from you. Right? It's so smart. Right? He's showing them what's in it for them right up front. I want to do this. This is part of my process. And if you notice, he asked if they're open to working with a buyer's agent. Okay. That's important. He needs to know where they're at. He needs to know their mentality and their state. Okay. That's it. That's simple. There's a lot more things you can talk about, but I promise you, just get that conversation going like that, and the conversation will flow once they know that they can trust you enough. Once they know that you're not going to do the very thing that you promised and that they said, I don't want you to do. Okay, I won't do it then.
Absolutely. And you'll notice as you look at the script, ladies and gents, there's a lot of specific value points in there, right? We can take that conversation from I don't want to list, here's value, here's value, here's value, here's value. The one thing I want everyone to remember about a script, any script, you don't have to read verbatim Walt Key's script. Scripts are just frameworks. They're outlines through which you're going to carry a conversation. So the value points have to be there. But let's say, for example, the idea of you saying, "Hey, listen, this might sound cheesy, but just doesn't feel right to you." Like I would never use the word cheesy in a call. Great, don't say that.
Right. I
You
would say
you
weird.
you might say weird, or you might say, "Hey, listen, you're not gonna believe me, but it's true.
Well, I
I
like
love
that.
calling and helping people. I do this every week." Make the conversation your own while keeping the framework in place, and this is going to be wildly effective for you, right?
Yep.
And if you're a lender on the call, right, obviously you're not going to say, "Are you open to working with a buyer's agent?" You don't have to because you're a lender. You
Right.
can
And
still
remember,
say
the
that.
lender script is in
Yeah.
that document that we shared, and it'll also be in the email on Friday. So, guys, now it's your turn. Okay. We're going to go into a breakout room because now that you have a list of places to find for sale by owners, you know where you're going to find one, how you'll market their property. You wrote down the offer. You wrote down, you know your value of what you're going to bring to them. Okay. The right mindset. Now you know, okay, it's okay. I'm just going to talk to Walt, the for sale by owner. I'm just going to talk to him. I'm not going to try. It's so awful when we put that pressure on ourselves to say, I have to get a listing agreement from this call or I'm a failure. And everybody feels that tension. And it's a horrible feeling. But when you say, I am present with you, Walt, the for sale by owner, I'm here to help you. And you actually mean it because you're not with some secret hidden agenda. You're just there to do the thing you said you're there to do. The conversations just flow so much better, right? Okay. And then, of course, you got the script. We're going to drop it in the chat for you again. Make sure you pull it up. So, inside the breakout rooms, you're going to do a role play one on one with your partner. Okay. Don't worry. For those of you that can make it, I'll make you opt in. You'll say yes in the chat in a second. You're going to spend about 1 to 2 minutes as an agent or LO, whichever one. Again, we have both scripts for you, so it doesn't matter. And you're going to call, ring, ring, just like Walt and I did. And that's all. You're going to just do just the script we gave you. And then you're going to switch. Okay? You can adjust it slightly, like Walt said, for your natural voice. But the point is, keep it concise. It's not about being wordy. It's about hitting the milestone points efficiently and effectively, just with your personality, with your verbiage. Okay? So we're probably going to spend about 5 minutes on that. So type yes in the chat if you want to join a breakout room because I assign them manually. So I need to see yeses in the chat, and then I'm going to start getting you guys going in those. So drop yes in the chat. I know everybody here should be doing it unless you're doing something to where you reasonably can't role play. Maybe I know some of you tune in at your day job and they might think it's a little weird that you're role playing this while you're doing whatever you do at your day job. All right. Loving those yeses. This is what I'm talking about. Y'all about to make a ton of money and help a ton of people. All right. I'm going to say your names out loud. Forgive me, but it's just how I keep track. Sunny, Laura. Next up, Carlin, Jesse. Let's go. All right. Next, Lori. Remember, type yes in the chat if you are going to be doing some role playing. All right. Who else I got? Kathleen said yes. Oh, I skipped. No, I got you. Okay, there we go. All right, come on. Who's going to step? Kathleen needs a partner. Who's going to jump in with Kathleen in a breakout room? We're one person shy. Well, I need you to stay on because we're streaming this and I have other questions. Oh, Lachey, there we go. Shout out to Lachey. Her and I talked yesterday and she said, I'm going to show up today and I'm gonna get on this. And then look at that. Here she is. There we go. All right, guys. Last call for breakout rooms. We need at least two more people if you're gonna do it. Last call. Three, two, one. All right, we're opening up the rooms. Oh, Lachey just disconnected. When she comes back, I'll put her in with you, Kathleen, okay? And if not, Kathleen, you can come back. It seems like she's having a connectivity problems. All right, guys, jump into your rooms. Make sure you have the script up. Oh, weird. Okay, let me get you back in, Lachey. I don't know why it. Oh, okay, that's why. Let me see if I can move you. I don't know if I can. Hold on. I'll figure this out. Still learning, still learning. And everybody else we're going to go over who's sticking with us. How do I don't know if I can add people to a room actually after. For some reason, it didn't have her name. Oh, there we go. Okay, hold on. I got it, Lachey. Sign to room for. There you go. All right, Kathleen, Lachey, you guys should have your invites. Looks like everybody else is heading. And then we got some hanging out with us. Oh, Heidi, you said too. I missed that. I'm going to put you in with Lachey and Kathleen, and because Kathleen hasn't connected to it yet. So let's get you going in there. Give me a second. All right, there you go, Heidi. Awesome. No worries, Kathleen. You jump in. Heidi will be in there with you too, Lachey. All right, for everybody else sticking around, thank you so much. Walt, I got a question for you because I want to hear this story. What's one of the most like interesting or surprising stories you've had that have come from this strategy, right? Unconventional, right?
Yeah.
Whatever.
So so most people think of FSBOs as a singular transaction, right? Maybe you find the right buyer and you close the deal, you're done. Maybe you list their house, you close that deal, you're done. I actually picked up a FSBO investor. I reached out because he was trying to sell one of his properties on his own. I reached out, I did my thing. A few weeks went by of me just periodically following up. And that investor called me back and said, "Hey, I really love your follow up. You've no pressure. Like I've worked with a lot of crappy agents over the years, and I can tell you're not one. I'd like to give you a shot in selling this house." And I said, "Sure." That investor I keep working with. The relationship was a FSBO relationship, but now I have consistent, repeatable business because of the investor aspect of that particular seller. So every time we find a house for him to remodel, I list them now. He doesn't try FSBO anymore because Walt is different and Walt was adding value and he likes that. And now we work together. So that was really fun to pick up a consistent, repeatable business from one singular FSBO reach out. Another one that I wasn't expecting, but it worked out. It was really fun. I reached out to a FSBO. 2 weeks later, they asked me to list their house. And like right as we're about to close on the house, she's like, "Hey, thinking about getting my real estate license. Tell me more about your brokerage." So
That's cool.
I have an agent that we're working through the real estate process with. Here's the punchline though. You just never know where these relationships go.
Oh, dude.
It could be exponential growth in your business. It could be a new partnership that you're not even thinking about right now. It could be someone who's so impressed by you that they want you to mentor them into real estate. There's just no end to what can happen when you're just out here focusing on building great relationships.
I think you bring up a good point. I hope everybody's really taking this in for a moment, okay? If you lead with value in everything that you do, in everything that you do, in every conversation, and I know you're not perfect, it's okay. But if your intent is whether I'm talking to the girl at Starbucks, Whether I'm calling a for sale by owner, whether I'm talking to the agent on the other side, even in a difficult deal, you just don't know where that will go. But what I can tell you is that will lead to a far better outcome than when you only think about yourself. No matter what the outcome is, even if it's still a less than favorable outcome, it's still better than the outcome of when
100%.
you were only thinking about yourself. I remember that I was really upset, just personally. I was really upset that this person that I had been nurturing for so long went with their cousin who just got their license. I think it was their cousin, just got their license. I had shown this person houses. This person, I knew their kid's name. Okay. I was hurt. And I kept following up with them. And here's what happened: their cousin sucked, but they still closed with them. But this person sent me 3 referrals because they said,
Yep.
listen, I really did just do it to help my cousin out. I did, but I'm not going to put anybody else through that. And they sent me referrals. Now, I had no idea, guys. We're talking referrals that came 6 months to a year later. I had no idea. But what I did is I continued to provide value even after they closed with someone else. I said, I'm still going to serve you because that's who I choose to be. That's me. And I will do that regardless of anybody else. I will be who I am. So if you say that you care about others and you want to serve them, then you do that regardless. Even when I market properties and they're going to sell fast, they go under contract quick. Do you know what I do? I still follow my marketing process because this is how I run my business. And nobody else is going to dictate that for me. Right? I've gotten referrals, I've recruited agents, I've had people who have cried in my arms because I cold called them. Yes, this was a for sale by owner. I cold called them. I served them with value. I listened to them and realized they really didn't want to talk about a house in that moment. And it turns out that their husband had just passed away. And everybody else was calling about their needs and their wants from them. And nobody was calling her and asking what she needed and what she wanted. And you know what's crazy is she didn't even want to sell the house. She didn't want to sell the house. She went for sale by owner because she was just scared and she was like, there's debt and things. So I hooked her up with the right tax planner. I hooked her up with the right financial planner. I helped her save her own life while she's in the midst of mourning the loss of her spouse. Okay? That's you. You're that person. You get to be a hero in the lives of so many people. And remember, good heroes, they're not focused on what they're getting in return. Now, you do run a business, and I promise you, the best way to make money in business is to solve people's problems sincerely.
Yep.
Okay? I hope that resonates with you guys. We have what'd you say? Real life stats. 60% of my current listings are from for sale. Wow. 60% of your current
Yeah,
listings
I
are
pulled
for
the
sale.
data this morning before the call because sometimes that comes up. People are like, well, what's your conversion rate? How effective is this? How do I know it really
Mm.
works? So I just like Walt Key is not an anomaly. I'm not smarter than you. I'm not better than you. I'm probably more consistent than you. That's it. You can do this. As of this morning, 60% of my active listings that are on the market came from a FSBO relationship. And then I went back and I looked from April 30th, 2024 to today. 26% of my closed transactions were from FSBO relationships. And that does not account for all of the active buyers that I have right now because the buyer reached out to me because I was marketing the FSBO's
Yep.
property and generating buyers for myself. So those are just some real world
Yeah.
stats. I mean, I, I did a coaching call on this months ago. And on that coaching call, 50% of my listing business at the time was from FSBO relationships. And I said, that feels really high. That's probably an anomaly. But months later, here I am, I'm at 60%. Now I've got another listing that goes on the market tomorrow. That's not a FSBO. So it'll be 55% of my current listings as of tomorrow. How many of you would ever imagine that half of your listing business could come from a for sale by owner? You didn't have to pay for it. You don't have to have an ad spend on it. You're not out there doing lead generation. You're just serving people.
Mm-hmm.
And here's the beautiful thing. And people can't wrap their head around this. I don't ask for the listing. 60% of my current listings are from FSBO relationships that I never asked to list their house.
That's right.
This works if you work it.
I love it. I love it. And welcome everybody who's coming back in right now from your breakout rooms. Lori was the first. She was on it. And we got everybody else coming back in. Welcome, welcome, my breakout room people. Drop in the chat, guys. Tell me how to go. How to go. Let me know. Drop it in the chat. How was your breakout room session? Role playing it through. Sonny, too fast. I gave you guys extra minutes. I'm going to assume that's a good thing then. Right? Tell me more. Tell me more. Drop in the chat if you're in a breakout room. How did it go? Role playing through it. There were questions and feedback. Good, good. Oh, tech difficulty. Ah, man, tech. Right. Too fast, but Sonny did a great job. All right, Sonny, well done. Great. Could have been longer. Good. Don't worry. You're going to do a lot more this week. You're going to get all that extra practice you want.
Yep.
Didn't get to finish. I love it. Yes, guys, you are
Good
awesome. This
stuff.
is great. Yeah. So if you had a key takeaway, what would it be? Like if you summarized one big thing that you've learned on this call, what would it be? Drop it in the chat. Like
Yep. While
maybe
you guys
it's
are dropping that in the
yeah.
chat, and for those who didn't, they don't feel like they got enough practice on this. Obviously, this is one quick training session. Here's a great way that you can practice this and really ingrain the framework into your head. Take the script that we gave you, read it for yourself, change the words that feel off to you, right? Make it your own. Keep the framework, keep the value points, but make it your own. And then print. This is going to sound silly, but I promise you this works. Print the script and tape it to your bathroom mirror.
Mm,
And every time you got to commit to this, right? There's some discipline here. Every time you go into your bathroom, before you walk out of the bathroom, look at yourself in the mirror and have the conversation one time. In a week, you will have ingrained that conversation in your head so well that you'll never open the script again. You'll just start having the conversations with people on the phone.
I
It
love it.
really, really does work that way. It's so simple, but it works.
And just so you guys know, this is part of a lot of you know our 100K and 100 days challenge. So for some of you who feels this sounds a little familiar, that's because this is a piece of the 100K and 100 days challenge that we do. Okay. But there is a lot more that you can do that goes cohesively with this. Facebook Marketplace goes well with this, all complementary to each other. From Facebook Marketplace, new construction open houses, buyer hot sheets that we use, vendor partners. And the reason why I'm telling you this is so that you know there's an ecosystem. You don't have to be just a for sale by owner. What happens is it all lends itself to each other. When you have it work in tangent, in a web, you will increase your productivity and you'll have a significant more amount of results per hour spent working when you know what to do. And I'm going to give you a quick example, right? You call for sale by owner. If you turn around and market it on Facebook Marketplace, then you turn around and from that Facebook Marketplace, you send it out to the buyers in your buyer's hot sheet. Then you turn around and as you're talking to that for sale by owner, they will have vendor partner needs. So you have vendor partners that you reach out to them. Then you make social media content. Do you see how it all flows together? That's why I want you to see the possibilities of what you use. Okay. And there's so much more that you can do with this. And when they're combined in the right way, because social proof is important, this is why I want you to know that this is such a good use of your time. This leads to, and some of you in this room might be some of these numbers, 228K in 90 days, 233K in 96 days, 255K in 100 days. Are you guys listening to these numbers? Some of you have experienced these yourselves or you have witnessed, you've seen the people, you know exactly who we're talking about. 300K in 70 days, 350K in 100 days. And one that I just added in that I was blown away by. I
I
don't think
hope it's
Logan,
Logan.
I knew it. Yeah, I don't think Logan
Yeah,
made it
that
today because he's
guy.
doing this. He just sent us
Just
this 4.3 million in active clients and 16.7 in potential pending right now, or
He
not
meant
pending, but
volume, yeah.
in volume. And so he's sitting on this year hitting around 500K. He was not making anywhere near that. This is the proof that you need, okay? This is why I tell you this. This is why you need to listen to the for sale by owner strategy, because agents who listen to it make a lot more money. They're happier, they're healthier in the mentally state because they relieve the pressure that is so often put on with typical strategies. So, a shameless plug here. We run a 100K challenge. If you want an invite to it, let me know. Just type 100K in the chat. I'm not going to push anything on you, but make sure you drop 100K in the chat and we can send you details on that. Um, and we'll take good care of you. Okay, that's a whole bunch. Nice. I like it. Misa, please make sure we get names for all of them so we can take good care of them. Send it to the 100K challenge. Um, and we'll send it all to you guys. It'll also be on the newsletter on Friday. All right, so I'm gonna wrap this up really fast. I will stay on a little bit longer for you guys to answer some questions. So real quick, this is what you need to do with this strategy this week. So not the 100K challenge, that's the whole ecosystem, but just this strategy we taught today. You're gonna pull up your calendar. You're gonna schedule a 1 hour time block each day for the next 5 days. Your goal is to make 125 dials, okay? That's 25 an hour if you're doing it manually. 15 conversations out of 125. That's roughly a 12% pickup rate. Okay, that's actually pretty solid right there. Okay, 3 appointments set, 1 new listing or buyer, and that is from just 5 hours of dialing. Okay, this is manual, Doug. So when I say dialing, that just means dials. Even on your phone when you're tapping it, that's still a dial. So that's what I mean. If you
I
did
don't
this
use the
with a
dialer either,
dialer,
Doug.
let me tell you this. If you let me go back one. If you did this with a dialer, guys, you could do 400 to 500 calls, and in 1 week you could secure 2 to 3 new listings and or buyers. Okay, but I'm not selling you on the dialers. I'm telling you how to do it manually. That's 100% free. Everything we showed you today, you do free. Walter does for free. I don't think Walter uses a dialer either.
Nope.
Yep. Okay. Now, this is just what you do, even if you suck at follow up. But if you decide to do follow up for the next 4 to 8 weeks, this can help turn it into 2 to 3 additional listings or buyers. Okay? I'll have more details about this in the email. Actually, let me get to that too. This is what we're going to put in the email for you on Friday. Remember, it's free. Just make sure you're subscribed. You're going to get the scripts that we did today. We actually have an extended conversation. Walt has an extended version that he'll share with you. Okay. A 47-minute bonus training video to master how Walt does this for sale by owner. And yes, Jesse, when you say appointment set with for sale by owners and or buyers who are interested as you're marketing these for sale by owners, but you're going to have appointments. Okay. Lachey, we're going to drop you the link to subscribe. We got you. Don't worry. Misa's going to drop it in the chat. We're also going to, Walt is willing to give you his for sale by owner seller's guide that you can gift to for sale by owners. So pretty cool. He's giving away for free. Again, this is what we do. We give so much away for free. Clear weekly follow-up plan. So I'm actually going to give you the bullets of the next 4 to 8 weeks, what you should do to follow up with these for sale by owners. That's pretty dope, by the way. Most of the time, everything I'm listing here is a paywall. Yes, subscribe to the newsletter, but you have to be a paid subscriber. And then if you want the 47-minute training video, that's a $29 upcharge. And then if you want Walter Key's for sale by owner seller's guide,
That's $1
that's
million because that thing's priceless.
seriously, that's a $99 upcharge. And then if you want the weekly follow-up plan, you guys notice how I'm practicing exactly what we're preaching? I'm telling you, I'm not going to sell you on all this stuff. Here it is for free. Here you go. It's yours. Don't you feel a little less stressed now that you know that I'm not going to sell you all this stuff? I'm telling you up front, everything I'm putting here is free. You will get it free. It's yours. And guess what? You're even going to get a chance to win a private one-on-one coaching session with Walt Key himself.
We'll talk about like Hawaiian shirts or something.
Come on now. Who beats that? Our calls are the best. Our calls are the best. Please tell me you agree, because we work so hard to have the best calls ever. This is what we do week over week. This is why we have so many people that show up. This is why we're now at over 800 subscribers in the newsletter, and it started just like 2 months ago. Okay. And also, I'm going to give you the top 3 ways that LOs and agents ruin this. okay, and get like terrible results. I'm going to give you those in the newsletter as well because obviously we don't have enough time in the call because we're at 10 o'clock. And yeah, subscribe now. Misa, drop it in the chat again, please, and we'll take good care of you. So make sure you subscribe to that. You're going to get replay slides. I didn't even put that in there because I ran out of room. You'll get the replay slides and everything because I know someone asked about that. All right, there we go. Now, drop the questions that you have in the chat. It can be about the 100K challenge and how that works. It could be about anything that we talked about, this specific piece of the strategy. Just drop them in the chat. We'll do a Q&A. You name it. We'll take good care of you. All right. And if you can do the hand raising symbol and you want to unmute, I have to manually let you unmute because every now and then you have people who like will take over a call or like you'll hear things you don't want to hear. So, Barbara, when does the 100K start?
May
May
6th,
6th.
Tuesday, noon Eastern, May 6th. We've got 6 days.
Yep, 6 days. Brand new to Re, have no idea how to do the 100K challenge. Okay, we'll send you the details as long as you put 100K in the chat. We do not want to spam anybody. If you don't want to know about the 100K, I don't want you to know about it. Okay, just like what Walt says in his script. Hey, listen, if you don't want to sign a listing agreement with an agent, we don't have to talk about it. I respect you guys. Okay, if you do want to know how we do the 100K challenge and everything like that, I got you covered. Walter, hand raised. Okay, let me unmute you. Here you go. I'm going to say ask to unmute, and then it should allow you to unmute yourself.
Hello, everyone. I really enjoyed this meeting. I learned a lot right here, especially from you, Walt. I really appreciate. We got the same name, also, so
Yeah, you can't beat that, man.
you
Oh,
can't
real
beat
quick,
that at all.
total sidetrack. I apologize. Walter, how old are you?
43,
So am I. What month?
November.
So I'm in July, so you're younger than me. I need
Okay,
you to message me after this call. I owe you a steak dinner. I'll explain it. I'll explain it in the message. Connect with me. I owe you dinner. I
got
continue
that.
on. Sorry.
All right. I own a company called Apartment One, and what we do, we only give tenants access to the properties they actually qualify for. For instance, like let's say Walter's Apartments, he may not let ex felons live there, or people with a certain type of credit score, if their credit score is under 640, they cannot live in your apartments. So what my tenant matching algorithm does is only show tenants areas based on their criteria. So if this person owns a dog, they will only see listings that will accommodate them and their pets. If this person has a felony, they can only see listings that only accommodate felonies and not every single listing in town. So this cuts down all the headache, the traffic, and trying, the
Yeah.
damage to your credit, applying for places that
I
you
know they're
can't get
brutal,
in.
man. Rental applications are brutal.
Yeah. So what we do all these services for the landlord, and all he does at that point, he just has to just collect his rent after that. We're not a property management service at all. So my thing is that we just started this and we're getting it up and going, but it is slowly kicking off. Like Walter said earlier, a lot of people don't want to feel sold on something,
Mm-hmm.
but this is the type of company that you have to sell it. So after if I keep the landlord on the phone long enough, it gets their attention, and they see the benefit in it. But keeping them on long enough,
Is
past that
important.
1 minute mark, it is brutal.
Make sure you guys are always in the trainings that we do because we have great stuff that comes up that will always, like last week we did a price drop with Joe Rosen to teach you guys how to take any price drop in your market and turn it into 2 new listings. Like we do, we're gonna have Nikki Pius. She is one of the best objection handlers in the nation in real estate, and she's actually going to be teaching you because you just said, Walter, you got to keep them on the phone, right? Both Walter said that, and so Nikki's actually going to teach you how to handle any objection ever to keep them on the phone for 2 minutes where they're happy and they want to talk to you beyond that because there is so much data. It's so overwhelming that if you can keep them on for 2 minutes, you're pretty much sold. You're pretty much golden, right? It's a big deal. So, Walter, did you have a specific question in there? Were you just sharing how you also understand to approach with, uh, right, like empathy and understanding their needs and not going immediately for the sale?
No, actually, it was just that right there. I need to get that method down
Ah,
where I
okay,
can,
okay. This will
with
help as you're
that
talking.
first minute,
Yeah, as you're
because
talking to for sale by owners, this is going to help fall in the script. You're going to find the ways that it will naturally guide your other conversations. This helps for everybody because this same thing applies to your past clients. This is why I said it's applicable to everyone, even if you never call a for sale by owner ever, because how you talk to people, leading with value, addressing the negatives, man, that applies in your marriages, guys. That applies in your marriages. That applies everywhere you go all the time. So definitely practice this, Walter, and go practice it with the for sale by owners. You're going to connect with Walter Key after this anyway. Ask him about how he calls landlords as well. He's got a cool thing there that will be a great asset for you too. How he calls landlords, absentee owners that might perfectly align with what you're doing. Lori, I saw you had your hand up. Let me unmute you. Thank you again, Walter, for the question. That was good, man, and I appreciate that. Laura, what you got?
Walter, quick question for you. We answered kind of the way that we would probably market, or offer to market for sale by owner. Do you mostly use Facebook Marketplace?
Yeah, Facebook
Yeah,
Marketplace and
that's what I
Facebook
figured.
groups are going to be two big ones.
Okay.
Don't miss the Facebook groups because there's a whole
Yeah.
nother piece to that. But yeah,
Yeah.
Facebook Marketplace, Facebook groups are big parts of it.
Do
Now,
you have, oh, go ahead.
I was
Go
just
ahead.
going to say, you're going to do more than just grab their
Yeah.
photos and drop it on there. As you walk through that script, you're going to see things like, I'd like to come out there and do a video walkthrough because video drives more marketing. While I'm there, do you mind if I do a 2D floor plan so that I can market the floor plan? Right.
Okay.
And then the follow-up is critical. You're going to follow up weekly to let them know what your marketing is producing.
Okay.
Ask them how it's going for them, and
Okay.
then continue the conversation.
Yeah,
Do you
and you
ever
will
have any,
like.
do you
Go
have
ahead.
any objections of people letting you do that very often?
Sure. It's funny. Like
The-
some people, and that's what I tell people in my full-on coaching call on this is take that value proposition as far as they'll let you until they say no,
Okay.
and then say,
Okay.
hey, no worries, I'll do the other stuff. But you're still going to follow up. You're still
Okay.
going to ask. So I've had people say, yes, bring a buyer. Yes, market my property. No, I don't want you to come do a video tour. Okay,
Or no
fine.
on
I'll do my
open
best I
house
can with
day.
photos. That's okay. Next week when I call back, I'm going to say, hey, this is the stats of the marketing. This is what I'm doing. I've had this many phone calls or this many conversations. Hey, did you have any additional thoughts on that video walkthrough? It'll only take me 10 minutes, but it will drive more marketing. Are you
That's
open
right.
to that? No,
Okay.
I don't want to meet you. Okay,
Okay.
no worries. That's fine. Right. We're going to just, but I've had people give me all the way through to, yes, bring a buyer. Yes, do the marketing. Yes, do come meet me, do a video walkthrough. No, I don't want you to host an open house for me. I don't feel like I need that. All right, hey,
Yep.
no problem. I'll do all those other things. So you just take that value as far as
Okay.
they'll let you take it.
Sweet. All right. Who else has got some more questions? Drop them in the chat, or do the little raise hand symbols, and I'll unmute you as well. Don't be shy. I got about two more minutes. Laura, let me find you. Is your video not on? That's why I can't find you. It always puts the videos at the top, so it makes it easier to find someone. Hold on. There you are. Got you.
Okay, so I'm one of these people that's always thinking, well, then what's the next step? Okay, so suppose the buyer, I'm able to bring a buyer to the FSBO owner, and how do we, what do you suggest that we talk to them about our fee, whether it's a percentage or we'll do it for a flat amount?
Yeah, Laura, let me hit
Or,
that really quickly, and then I'll
okay,
just say that the coaching call that you're going to have in the Friday newsletter is going to expound on that a little bit more.
okay, very
But
good.
here's some quick points. One, always have your commission agreement signed by the seller before you bring the buyer. No
Okay,
exceptions.
okay,
Two, in every single MLS I've ever been in every single state I've ever done business in, I'm dual licensed, I've had multiple MLSs. There is a commission agreement for an unrepresented seller. Sometimes it's called commission agreement, like it is here in Florida. Sometimes it's called the unrepresented seller acknowledgement, like it was back in Virginia. There's already a form created for this. What you're going to do is you're going to take the seller's name, the seller's address, your name, your buyer's name, You're going to fill out that commission agreement in advance, save it as a PDF so it is not editable, and you're going to email it over to the seller when you have a buyer that you want to schedule a showing for. After you call the FSBO back and say, hey, listen, the marketing's going great. I've got a very interested buyer. They're pre-qualified. I vetted them through my lending partner. They want to see the house next week or Thursday or whatever time. I need to send you some paperwork because my broker doesn't allow me to bring random strangers into other random strangers' house. That's illegal, actually. Where can I send you that paper? And you're going to send them the commission agreement in advance. It needs to be signed by the seller before you take the buyer into the house. I
Okay.
will tell you that in all of the years I've done this, I have only had one instance, one singular, where the FSBO even questioned my commission. And I still got 3%, but I had a 2-minute conversation with them about why. It's not a conversation that really comes up that much. They understand, right? The vast majority understand. I am not paying a seller's agent. That's why I'm for sale by owner. But if I want to do a deal, I got to pay a buyer's agent. Almost every single one of them understand that. So don't stress over that. Be very matter of fact with it. Hey, I have a buyer who is interested in seeing your property. I need to do some quick paperwork with you because I'm not allowed to bring them into a random stranger's house without some permission slip. Where can I email that? That's it. Fill it
Okay.
out, send it over, have them sign it. The rest is gravy.
Okay, that's excellent. Thank you so much.
All right. Any final questions, guys? We're going to wrap it up, but feel free. What we'll also do, we always do this, is we have a Facebook group. Again, it's free that you can jump into. We're going to make a post where you can share some of your results that you're getting with this. You can ask additional questions. Maybe you have some objections that are coming up. Walt, myself, and some others will just jump in and help you out for free. Like, this is what we do. So jump into that group. Oh, Walt already posted it. Jump into that group, and we'll also share that group in the newsletter on Friday. See, well, so you're welcome to be there. I mean, you're going to get the most help and support for free that you've ever gotten. That's the way we want you to feel. So I hope that you find value. Everybody who posted 100K in the chat, we will send you more information. More than likely, we're just going to put it in the Friday newsletter for you. So we'll take care of you. Misa will make sure that everybody who typed 100K in the chat, you're going to go on a list. We'll send you all the information. Yeah, I think let's wrap it there, guys. Any other questions that you have, drop them in the Facebook group. Tag Walt and myself. We'll take good care of you. Thanks for being here, man. And I really hope you guys take some action. Just remember, 125 calls, not conversations. 125 calls, only 15 conversations leads to 1 to 2 new listings and buyers in just a week. How much in that commission check is that for you? Let me ask you, how much? Well, how much would that be for you on average? I want to do one last quick math problem to put in perspective.
So let's say the average super run-of-the-mill listing in my market, $300,000 roughly. So if I'm pulling a 3% commission off of that, that's $9,000.
Okay, so $9,000. Let's say he does that. Let's be conservative. Let's say it takes you guys 10 hours. Okay? That's super conservative. That's double.
That's very conservative. Yeah.
That's insane, right? Do you know how much that works out to be that you got paid per hour, guys?
I do.
$900
an hour.
$900 an hour. Please tell me the job that you can go get right now where you get paid $900 an hour. I'll wait. In fact, I'll sign up. Please send me a referral link. All right. Rhonda, most attorneys don't even make $900 an hour. There's a couple.
And how much are you paying for the law degree first?
Yeah. Yeah. I work with a lot of different attorneys in different fields, but yeah. 1.5 mil. That's right.
Yeah, the law degree. Yeah.
So guys, seriously, 5 to 10 hours this week, and then you turn around and pay your bills for a month to 2 months. Is that not worth it? Not to mention, you're just a hero. You're a hero to someone who's trying their best too. I hope this is encouraging for you. I cannot wait to see you guys on Friday with the newsletter, next week on Wednesday, and then the 100K challenge as well. It's going to be awesome. We're adding new things in on this 100K challenge too for LOs and agents involved. So I cannot wait. I will see you guys. Have just a blessed day. And yeah, let's do it. Bye, everybody. You're welcome. You're welcome. Thanks for being here. Appreciate you guys. Hey, Doug. Good to see you, buddy. Bye.